Okay. Uh, Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Stories from the Unbound Shores. We have been off for a couple weeks due to scheduling conflicts, but we are back and ready to continue our adventure. Where we last left off, the group had finished having a conversation with the spirit that was haunting the Forgotten Fortress, who had given them quite a large amount of information about Atlas in hopes they might be able to change his current predicament. And with that, I believe there was some a couple more things that wanted to be done here before continuing on. So, what would people like to be doing?
Well, there were the statues that I had been asked to make sure were at least in a visitable condition.
All right. So you'll see that while the statues and things have not deteriorated as much as like the rest of the place, they still have gotten worn down a fair bit. But as you enter the room, just kind of get this ominous feeling as if someone's watching you.
Creepy.
Teleporting.
Is it the camel?
Is it the camel?
Oh, right. I forgot to hide the camel. I'll put it in the next map.
Alright, so we've got Mord in the center, and then I believe it was Arathis and
Ford. I believe I put Arathis to the west and Cord to the east.
That seems to be my recollection as well. He said that the Moradin statue was in perfectly good condition. The others needed a bit of upkeep.
Yeah, more or less. Like, they're certainly not as run down as the rest of the place, but they're not as well kept as the places that Atlas might have deemed important.
Is the type of upkeep that they require the kind of thing that my character would be able to perform here now, or is that like I'd need to get a craftsman to fix problems?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like, does your character have any, like, background working with, like, upkeeping statues or just working with stone in general?
Only in the last couple of years, when he was trained in a temple.
Alright. Then I'd say that there are, like, some cracks in ships and places that you simply just don't have the tools to fix. But there are some more basic things which you can attend to.
Alright, I will attend to whatever I can.
Some cloth and maybe, like, some water or something just to kind of wash them off.
That's a good... there was that bathroom. Are there other places this fortress that seem to be for drawing water? Are they function?
There are a couple. I seem to have forgotten some of them in my efforts of recreating this particular map. You know that there's one in like the master bathroom. There's probably one near the kitchen, although you haven't seen one. And there may be one near the barracks somewhere.
Okay.
Wait, one what?
Let's draw water.
Like a
Got okay.
So, the question is, are we still just, taking our time to do these things now, or were we going to try and utilize what was left of our wind walk to return the Gnomish village.
I think we had a half hour left in here, and then we would have to leave.
That would be like the absolute most.
Okay, so I don't think I can accomplish that goal in a half hour, unless you say I can, DM.
Well, it would take most of your time at least,
Uh-huh.
but it's mostly just wiping down the statues because there's not much you can do to like repair them. It's mostly just getting like the dirt and grime off of them.
Okay. Well, if I deem that it's something I feel I could finish before our half hour is up and still get back to the party, then I would go about doing that, letting them know that's what I'm up to.
All right. Then you do so.
I can help him along with that so it's a little faster, because presumably 2 hands is, I guess 4 hands is going to be better than 2.
Indeed. And that I will come back to. In that case, I'll come back to you and Eskel at the end. Next, well, sorry, I believe you were wanting to do something either with the arcane-looking area or the bookshelf in here.
Ooh, I forgot about the bookshelf in here. So we said that these books are all pretty much about resurrection, right?
Indeed, that does seem to be their primary focus. Resurrection, restoration, white necromancy generally. If you can tell me something specific you're looking for, I might be able to give you something more specific, but without having some idea of what you're looking for, a general idea is the best I can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Alright, if you want, I can come back to you in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, Jebel. Sorry, wrong game.
Aurelion?
Whatever my name is.
Aurelion. Sorry, yours is the only name not actually listed on the side of the screen for me, so I don't always remember it. Aurelion, what would you like to
That's
be?
fine. I forgot what it was. That's me. What's everyone doing? We're moving about, or we're... I have completely forgotten what we were doing.
Dirk and Eskel are attempting to clean up the statues in the kind of makeshift temple area near the front of the fortress. Melsari appears to be examining the books on the variety of shelves here in the bedroom. As a general task, you're just kind of giving a place a good once-over before you leave.
Who's cleaning up this statue? Haskell
The
and...
paladins, Eskel and Dirk.
This large room with the pillars, I'm going to just explore that.
Alright, you may do so. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, or...?
Not really, no. It just seems like an interesting room.
Alright. Now, if you want to do more than just admire the architecture, please roll me some investigation.
Investigation. Okay. That is a 12.
Well, you do not seem to find... You kind of poke and prod, feel around a little bit. You don't find anything that seems like it might be like a secret door or passage or whatnot. It seems to be just a fairly ordinary room. With the exception that you notice the the braziers and candles don't seem to be producing smoke. Which isn't something most people would notice just by walking in the room, but since you're spending some time in here, you've noticed. As there doesn't seem to be like any at the ceiling or any place for it to really be let out.
I don't think candles generally produce smoke.
And not generally, but the braziers certainly would.
Yeah, they probably can.
Alright. Al,
Yes.
what would you like to be doing?
That is a very excellent question. So, you said you were coming back to Kate because she's trying to figure out what Melisari would be doing. Correct?
Yes, but if what you're doing requires her, I could go to her first.
Yes, please.
Alright, so then... Oh, 1 second.
All right.
Left.
Yeah, be quicker just to answer your question via voice, Kate.
Okay.
You're not really aware of much of that, as there's certainly not been a case of it happening during the Raven Queen's rule, and there hasn't been one during the time you've been alive, so information on that particular subject is scarce. It just doesn't happen very often.
Okay. That's information that I want. Do I have any... what am I saying? Is there anything on this shelf that looks like it might be useful toward that end?
Or that end.
Bring out those answers. That is...
Are you just kind of coming through the titles? Are you actually opening books and like looking in them? What's your process here for trying to find this information?
I'm going to start by just kind of looking over the titles, and if anything sounds like it could possibly have the information I want, I'll pull it off and flick through it.
All right. Then roll me some perception, I guess.
Damn, dude, that's a 24.
All right. Then upon going over the titles, a couple jump out at you. None of which really seem to hold what you'd be wanting, though, as most don't cover that subject. They just seem to be theories on what causes one and how one might be, like how a Death Knight might be returned to their normal state. But not much in the way of specifics, just kind of theories. But one of the books you open is one you're familiar with. At least, like you've read this. You may have read this one before in research or something. But when you open it, the book that's actually written there isn't the same as what matches the title.
What? What is this new book? That isn't the book it's supposed to be.
It's a girly mag hidden inside another book?
It seems to be focused on ways of possibly achieving immortality. Again, mostly theories, but something like this is not particularly common to find. It's not exactly frowned upon, although some of the methods might be, but it's not easily acquired knowledge normally.
It's like it's not necessarily something I particularly care about, but just due to the rarity, it's tempting. I'm gonna stuff it into my bag. Because I'm an
I believe the
asshole.
appropriate word for that is yoink.
Yup.
Alright, and so if I've read the situation correctly, you start stuffing this bag into your, like this book into your bag, there we go, as Al will approach you, if I understood what they meant correctly.
Not necessarily. I was just trying to get an idea as to what everybody was doing
Alright.
outside of character.
Okay, well, now you know what Mel's doing. What would you like to be doing?
Still, a very excellent question. However, if Mel is not too busy, she would come up behind her. Hey, Melisari.
I assume I'm like either flicking through a book at this point or stuffing the one into my bag.
Yep, you can
Just
choose
put it
what
in.
you'd like to be doing.
I'll say by this point I'm like stuffing the one into my bag and I just kind of go, and look up.
About that thing.
Oh, right. I completely forgot. I'm gonna glance around there. It's just the two of us in the room at this point. And I will tell you, it will take 10 minutes.
I've got 10 minutes to spare. What about yourself?
Well, I had wanted to check out the Arcane Room. I don't know what to call it. But I think I can walk and think at the same time.
I can follow you there if you would like company.
Certainly.
Alright.
Am I aware of where you had gotten the ring?
No.
I'm wondering if that's something I would ask. Alright, well, I am ritual casting Identify as we wander our way to the room with teleportation.
I would answer.
What?
Oh, did
Sorry?
you not hear me?
No.
Oh.
What's happening?
I have no idea.
I believe Al was attempting to answer your question.
Oh, I don't know that I'm asking in character.
Oh.
Like, I know out of character that you yoinked it from the table, right?
Correct.
But if I don't know that in character, I don't know if I'm gonna ask. At least not just yet.
Alright.
What's with the dice? Are you
I
gonna
think someone
talk
wants to
about
swing his
somebody else?
maul.
That's not me. Somebody pick up my maul?
Who touched my hammer?
Alright, so you guys make your way to the area with the teleportation circle, correct?
Whee!
Correct.
Yes.
Melisari is the one who touched the ball.
I touched the what?
The butt.
I touched the butt.
Alright, so, and you're originally casting Identify while you walk, correct?
Yep.
Alright, then let me triple check that I have actually made this into D&D Beyond, because I'm nearly certain I have, but on the off chance.
You get to make all these jokes at Sam's expense because he's not going to pay attention to the chat inside the game.
I mean, I hadn't been. Now I gotta see what was being said. I think there's.
Damn.
Is there not a? Oh yeah. Okay. There's.
Alright. No, sorry, I have added a rare magic item to your sheet. You may view it and, go over its description and things. And share what you wish.
Rare magic thing. Rare magic thing.
Oh, I probably need to refresh or something,
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
huh?
It'll be in blue text near the top.
Say nothing except just thank you to Al. Leave them confused.
Just neat,
Hi.
and then pocket it.
I like that last sentence.
The best way to divide up the work.
What's the best way to... Oh, your chat. Okay. I'm going to hand it back to Al. Tell her what it does. And then I'm just gonna kind of like squint at her a little and ask, and say, I won't even ask exactly how you acquired it. What I do want to know is this potentially going to impact our ability to sway Atlas, if he is aware that we have this. Basically what I'm worried about is if this is like a special ring that he had here. I'm making the assumption that she picked it up in here somewhere just because I feel like they would have, asked me to identify it sooner. But anyway.
Alright, so that you're
So
not,
that's
so you're hopefully not entirely confused here. I have now also added the item to your sheet as well, if you want to refresh and give it a look.
Duplicate items, duplicate items, duplicate items.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Reloading the Beyond now.
Do magic things. Do magic things.
I've now removed it from Melisaris. Just to be sure.
joke's on
magic
you. I'm
things.
never
One magic
reloading.
things.
Joke's on you, DM. Scooby.
Yikes, that last bit.
I know, right? It's great.
Oh, it's so fantastic. I love it. Every last bit of it. I would mention just, I am honestly very unsure of that, hence why I'm probably going to return it to its place until further notice. And if it is not claimed for him, then I don't see why not grabbing it.
I think that sounds fair to me.
So, if you are comfortable here, I believe Dirk, Eskel, and Aurelion are right down the hall. And if need to be, holler for them, I suppose.
Wait, what?
I am going to go return it to its place.
Okay, I'm still here. I'm gonna be looking at the stuffs in here.
Sounds like a plan.
Hmm.
And for now, Al will walk back and return it to the most accurate place that she recalls it being.
Alright, so you return it to the table.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll come back to Melisaris in a moment. Dirk and Eskel, it's been about 20 minutes, but you've managed to finish up with the statues. But the entire time you were in there, there's always just been this unsettling presence that you haven't really felt anywhere else in the fortress.
Not feel it anywhere else.
That is correct. Which is why it ends up taking longer than it should, because the unease starts getting the two of you.
I used Divine Sense.
Yeah, I was just going to my sheet to see what kind of things I had.
I was like, what is it called?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, I have forgotten. What all does Divine Sense detect?
I think it requires me to see a thing, so probably nothing. But if you give me a moment, I will read it. As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
All right. This place is affected by the Hollow spell. Hallow. There we go.
Wouldn't that have meant that the undead in here wouldn't have been doing well? Was it
Not
on
necessarily, because its effects are selective, and you can choose to either Hallow or Desecrate.
There you go.
Yeah, it isn't the same spell in this one.
I believe so. Let's see,
I think
within the
in
same
previous
radius.
editions, it was 2 spells.
So that's you read the Cliff's Notes. The not Cliff's Notes version says, within the same radius you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell. So yeah, that's why. Hallow does both. So we know that this place has been hallowed, at least. Do we know if it was consecrated
you know
or
it's been
desecrated?
desecrated. You know it's been desecrated.
Okay, cool. I think we have a thing called Right that might let us get rid of that.
We have a method of undesecrating something? Other than dispelling the magic?
Undesecrating.
Yeah. I mean, because we're not consecrating it.
No,
Gotta go 2 steps.
Hang on.
Undesecration.
Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna refer to it as undesecrated from now on. Undesecration. Undesecration and anti-desecration are going to be the terms for just normal and consecrated.
And
Magic
can either
when
be
cast spell.
pre-consecrated or deconsecrated.
I like it.
Yes, okay.
Just out of curiosity, is this Hallow spell causing us to make any saving throws?
Now I have double checked the spell. It would be giving you a saving throw, yes. So, I could, give me like a charisma saving throw from the both of you.
Oh man, this is one of the few things in the game that requires a charisma saving throw. The one place paladins are useful. Give me a second, I'm gonna get a dice, one of my dice sets.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the only place they're useful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the only
26.
place a charisma save is useful.
We're gonna go with Amethyst Sky.
I got a 26.
Wow. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that good. Not with a roll like that.
Alright.
I got a 17.
17's still pretty good.
Yeah, did you remember to get the +1 from me?
I got a 27.
You will both pass Dirk with flying colors.
My die decided to roll single digits.
While you two can still kind of feel like that there's, you while you two could still feel the ominous presence, you don't suffer any effects.
Okay. I'm still checking to see if we would know if there's about it. Interesting. It is a default effect that undead can't enter the area. Regardless of if it's hallow or consecrated or desecrated.
Yep, that is right. Okay, I misread this then. Oh well.
Okay,
Maybe
that happens.
I might just be adjusting that because that seems kind of silly. Because then what's the point of desecrating an area for the majority of clerics that would do such a thing?
It is weird. It just keeps
Piss
out.
off the other one.
You can exclude one or more of these types of creatures from this effect.
Oh, I didn't see that.
there it is.
So
Yep.
you can do it and be like, undead are
Except
fine,
undead.
but fuck Fae.
Yeah.
This
Gotcha.
celestial BS.
I didn't read the last sentence there yet.
It's
So,
not. It requires reading the paragraph. It's
It
not
requires
well,
reading
like,
every word, or
laid out.
you're gonna get screwed. Get a second effect. Choose the effect. An effect offered by the GM. Let agree. All. Alright, you can specify. That's when we have to make the charisma saving throw. Or the effect. That's all it really says. Sure. But I mean, Sam, it is a spell affecting an area or object, so dispel, not that we have access to it, should work.
Right.
Oh well. No, we don't seem to have anything on us that would work right now, so it's sort of just like, well, gross.
So we make note of this extremely rude situation. Also, while cleaning these, I'm making note of the types of repairs that would be necessary.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
So that we can know what we'll need to do or what will need to be done.
All right. You, with having some history with stone as you're a dwarf, that's just kind of a racial thing.
I also have proficiency with like mason's tools and things. I've worked with stone a lot.
Oh, well, in that case, you might actually make some of these repairs while you're here.
Not in the time that we have, though.
Yeah, not necessarily in this time, no, that's true. Although technically you could stay longer, it would just mean a longer walk back. Anywho.
Yeah, we are intending to get back to this place anyway, so I feel like it's a better use of our time to deal with more thorough repairs later.
Alrighty then. Aurelion, is there anything else you're wanting to do other than explore the throne room?
I don't really want to get too far from everyone.
Okay.
Like I kind of want to remain with the greater part of the group.
Alright,
So-
well currently all of the group is significantly south of you.
Oh, then second.
I hope you like the really cool effect of the roof coming off right then.
Give me 1 second. Wow.
Where's my friends at?
So I see myself hopping down the hallway.
Yeah. Alright, what would you like to be doing instead?
I'm just hanging with the group.
Oh,
Hey, look,
okay.
it's Atlas's,
4 day?
not longer a body.
His armor, that's pretty much what's left.
Oh goodness. Hi.
Ah.
Mildly terrifying.
Feel like I just watched Al try to escape through the wall.
Alright.
Aurelion is a little bit faster than everyone.
And he's significantly faster than everyone.
That's alright.
Sorry, my cat's being an asshole.
Lift and toss.
So she's being a cat. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how she makes herself so large when she lays down. Anyway, I'm just kind of investigating, seeing if there's any worthwhile components, spell books, things like that.
That actually is a point. I hadn't thought about components. One moment while I go see what would be reasonable.
Ugh.
So, Tristan, why is Aurelian right on top of me?
Because you're not properly in a square.
Yeah, fuck squares.
Okay.
I guess I can move myself close to the table anyway.
Some of us respect boundaries.
Yeah, clearly Aurelian doesn't.
No?
Overlapping with my token.
Yeah, that's because you weren't respecting the boundaries of the square.
He could have stepped on a different square.
Nope.
Yep.
Wouldn't have been close enough.
Absolutely would have been close enough. You do not need to be within 5 feet of someone.
Leaving
We're
the
having, in fact,
same
a whole pandemic about it.
air.
Yep, definitely the whole point of the pandemic.
Can I get an investigation check, please?
Yes, give me one moment.
Did you guys know that dice are not a toy?
What?
According to Dispel Dice, they're not a toy.
21.
21. Okay. Then, upon searching, you'll find a small hidden compartment with a couple pouches in it.
Pouches?
Poach those pouches.
Fuck yeah.
One that contains a crushed black powder that you don't really know what it is. Another contains a diamond.
Worth 100 gold pieces. Do I need to have these?
Get out your loop scope and determine.
The way appraising generally works in this game, from my understanding, is you just roll the tool associated with it. So you don't have proficiency, but you can still roll intelligence if you want to try and appraise it yourself.
Why the fuck not? 21. This is getting a little weird.
It appears to be not quite worth 100 gold pieces, but around the 75 gold pieces mark.
Okay.
And then there's a third that I still need to find the thing for.
Actually, fine.
And you see what looks to be a silhouette of a dwarf carved from ivory and decorated with some gems.
That's me?
What?
Was that me? Found that?
Yes, you found it. That was in the last pouch.
Okay. A little statue of a dwarf. With
Yes.
jewels and shit.
A
Cool.
ivory and jewel encrusted statue.
Beautiful. I found cool things. Is there a spellbook or anything over here?
You are aware that there was a spell book, but I believe Dirk has it, unless you gave it to you.
Okay.
Dirk, I think, still has it because I don't think it was asked for while we were here.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I had been diligently studying the circle and sketching it down at the time.
Yep.
Did me a favor by grabbing it since I was too busy.
Alright. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do?
I think I'm gonna meet up with everybody else at this point.
I'm going to say that pretty much all this has ended around the same point, so you guys have about 10 minutes left.
I feel like we should probably just leave with those 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I think
Just
that's
so we're
probably...
not, like, falling on the village in case of weird things happening.
We should also fly low to the ground.
I believe Windwalk actually drops you safely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is a nice spell. It does not murder you should you get dispelled.
You mean like certain other things we found?
Well, actually, I guess it might, because then that spell is no longer affecting you. That is what makes you fall slowly. So never mind. Ignore that last comment.
Most of the spells that give you control of your own flight, when the duration ends, will drop you safely. But
They often will drop you a certain amount of distance safely, and then after that they're like, okay, it's on you.
shouldn't have flown 1,000 feet up.
Mistakes were made. They won't be made again.
Good thing it's only 200 feet of falling damage. Alright, so if you guys are heading out, then I will prep the next board. Because as you are flying as like a cloud in a storm, you're not exactly gonna get bothered by anything. I think this is what
Get bothered by like a high pressure area.
Good. Hey Jeb, is there any possibility that you could like move the slider for your Discord noise gate just a little bit higher?
Is it in user settings?
Yeah, it's in user settings and then voice and volume or whatever it's called.
Voice and video.
That's it, voice and video. I knew it was two V's. And then there should just...
Input sensitivity?
What?
What is it, under input sensitivity?
Yeah, input sensitivity. You should be able to move that slider as long as it's not set to do it automatically. And if it is set to do it automatically, you should not set it to do it automatically. And then you'll just want to see what, like, the baseline sound of your room is and just move it a bit above that so that your voice always picks up.
Are
Okay.
you hearing anything now?
Hang on, I'll check. Very quiet. Everybody else can talk. I just need you. I just need Jeb to be very quiet. It's just a clicking, but that's way better than what was happening before. So yeah, that's good.
I'll try lowering it slightly more.
So what do we're taking off? We all gather back up and fly.
Yep. I am just trying to adjust the settings for the next map before I let you in.
Doesn't wait. Damn. Everybody abandon poor Aurelion in the magic room.
Oh, goodness. Oh my.
So,
First roll of the Amethyst Skies wasn't terribly impressive.
means it can only go up from there. Unless it goes down.
No, that's true. It can still go down because it was not a 1. And it did roll very close to a 20. It rolled an 8, which is right next to the 20.
So it wanted to be a 20.
It wanted to be, but it failed. It disappointed me.
Okay, that should do.
I mean, I like how big the numbers are. Legible.
Alright, find a board.
Still want to know why pointy dice are so popular when round corner dice are so much nicer.
And
right.
if you up on them, they're not gonna fucking murder you.
DM tried to summon us to a board, but we couldn't find the specified board. Tried to summon us to a board, but we couldn't find the specified board.
That's weird.
Whoa, what the fuck?
What?
The Swamp Village.
Let's see here. I will go back to the Fountain Fortress so that hopefully you guys can open your menus. If you can, go to the board section and try and transfer to the one titled Swamp Village.
Off we go. Oh, I might need to borrow this because I wouldn't have. Oh, this place has music.
Yes, that's what I was checking a minute. I was messing with the ambiance settings.
I'm real quick gonna run and use the bathroom. If I am needed, I apologize.
Alright, so, one quick thing. I was fairly busy the past few weeks, so I did not actually make this myself, but unlike when I would take maps from Google, I can actually find the author for this. So, this was made by someone using a username that I don't know how to pronounce, so I'll just spell it. Gajia on Tales Bazaar.
Gotcha.
What? Hang on, I got distracted. What's happening?
I am simply trying to give the person who made this map credit.
Oh, okay.
I think the water level is
Good job,
supposed to come
person.
up a little bit.
It is, but I'm also kind of retrofitting this because I don't want it to be as swampy.
Oh.
I was mostly just going for forest, but this was kind of the closest thing I could find to foresty.
That was very
While
nice.
still...
They did a good job.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's real pretty.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Good job.
I might need to spill it.
Okay. You all should have your tokens near the middle outside the, just outside the big house.
Yep. Roll of Eskel, but not Aurelion.
I guess I never fixed that. Let's see if I can fix that now. GM tool.
I was just making sure that I had control of my character.
Thought you were trying to run away from me, buddy. Alright, now I have control of both.
And now I've remade it unique, so it should stay that way. Okay. So you have returned to the Gnomish village.
Right. So we should find Nyx.
That certainly is an option. Last time you saw her, she was in this building here.
Well, we go do a little knock-knock, unless somebody has a different idea.
I think seeing Nyx makes a good amount of sense.
Yes.
Oof.
What time time is it, by the way, in game?
It is starting to get early morning.
We will be wanting to sleep
Yes.
soonish. Or,
Yes,
I guess not soon. Yeah, soon. Because usually it was... I don't remember what our hours were like.
I believe we sleep in the late morning,
Okay.
so that we have like an hour or two as it's getting kind of light and bright. We go to bed. All right,
This
knock, knock,
was
knock.
a good map.
All right.
When you say early morning, how early is early morning?
Like,
How rude are we being?
Yeah, how rude are we being?
let's go with like 5:30, 6-ish.
Okay, come on. Lots of people are up this early.
It's not horrible, but
Those people
not
are
great.
wrong.
Yeah, those people are definitely wrong.
That's when you go to sleep.
Exactly.
That means she's not up.
Knockety knock 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 knock.
Waking up at this time of day is terrible.
You hear some, movement coming from inside the building. And then you'll hear, "Who's there?" in Nix's voice.
Well, we don't have a title for ourselves. It's Eskel Trenier, Paladin of Bahamut.
Is she asking Gnomish or Common?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, that actually is a good question. Probably Gnomish.
I don't speak that tongue. I speak common.
Oh,
Nix, it's me, Eskel
it's
Trenier,
you.
Paladin of Bahamut.
Just a moment, I'll be right out. A minute or two passes, and she steps out. Oh, come on, do the thing.
Okay, then. Okay.
What just happened?
She flew out through the wall and then swatted herself against the building.
Oof.
You're back so soon. Did things go well or poorly? Or did you even make it there?
I kind of glanced at the rest of the party and said, well, actually, all things considered, they went well.
That's good to hear. We not have to be worried about whatever's there anymore.
Well, I wouldn't say that the job is fully done yet, but we have eradicated all of the skeletons that were serving under the Death Knight. We have gained new insights into what is keeping him bound to this world. And we were able to destroy his body one more time, so he will not be around for at least a couple days.
Well,
We have purchased ourselves time.
and us as well. You have my gratitude.
Beyond that, it seems that the truce with the elementals will hold.
I'm glad to hear that. Is there a particular reason that you have returned, or are you just checking in?
Well, we figured that you would want to know that what we had accomplished, that there is less to worry about, but that the danger is not fully gone yet. Knowing, preparing, all seem like wise courses of action.
Yes, I thank you for that, and I'll make sure to share it with others once everyone is out and about. But allow me to rephrase my question to more of what I meant. Is there something we can do for you?
We would appreciate a place to sleep this day. And I mean, starting soon. through the day. I don't like the sun, so we sleep during the day.
I see. I suppose that makes sense. Um, I'll be out checking up on everyone most of the day. And there are already a few extra beds here in my home, so you can feel free to make use of it. We don't exactly have a inn. We don't get travelers much.
Of course. Of course. Grateful for the space.
Although some of you may have to share if you don't want to just use the floor.
I can.
As can I.
Thank you. I believe that was everything. Does anybody else feel I've missed something?
I don't believe so.
If there's anything else, it could probably wait until after we've rested. We're forgetting it.
It's a
All right.
thatched
Yep.
dormer.
What?
I didn't know that there were dormer pieces.
I think those are actually a fairly recent addition.
Sorry, I'm just marveling at this build. I can see how he accomplished a lot of the things. So their form is very good, but their function is going to be limited. In any event, we have been allowed to stay here. There's nothing further. We would like to rest and then plan our next move.
All right. Before you start getting your rest, in case you are interested, I believe Ira is still nearby if you have any need or desire to speak with her as well. And in case you guys have forgotten, that is the name of the djinn that you had been dealing with.
I don't know, trying to think of how to phrase. I suppose, yes, we should let her know what we were able to accomplish with the power she lent us.
She'll give you some directions as to where to find her.
Well, I volunteer to go.
Is anyone else interested, or
I could accompany you, Vesper.
I'm interested.
Seems
All right.
reasonable for us all to go.
Don't split the party. Or something like that.
Split the party, split the party. Then, it sounds like we all go Aurelion, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
all right? One moment. All right. Let me grab a token for her. That is not ideal. Oh, none of those are particularly ideal. Alright, well, we'll just make do with this. Let me drop out of build mode. No, not hide. That's the opposite of what I want. That size. Large. Alrighty. So, just if you guys can see the line, you can follow that to where you were told to go, if you wish to move your tokens. Or I can move them for you if you wish.
Big rock to be on.
So,
Help, please.
I will help you in one moment. Why can I not click thing? That's why. I'm dumb. Alrighty. Boop, 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 boop. This is the only air elemental token they have, so tornado it is.
That's a classic air elemental.
Alrighty. So, oh yeah, there's something there. Okay. As you lot begin to approach, she will begin casting a spell.
I believe we're used to it at this point.
Just double checking.
One would hope.
Stop a respectful distance away and let her finish.
So she casts tongues and says, you're back. Based on the fact you're still breathing, I imagine things went well, or at least did not go poorly.
Yes. We're able to utilize the magic you spent on it. Reach our destination. Scout it. Determine the enemy's strength, and then shatter it.
Excellent news. I do hope that your endeavors succeed, assuming they haven't already.
A bit more effort is yet needed. We have destroyed the Death Knight's body, and we'll form a new one in the next few days. But that gives us time. Ensure that we know how to deal with him. We have a plan now. We've gained much information. So I believe that we can very soon remove the undead threat from this area.
I'm glad to hear that. I've never been a fan of how prevalent, I think might be the word I'm looking for, the undead are in this area. It would be nice for this place to reach some semblance of normalcy.
It'll be a new normal, I suppose. As it seems that between this Death Knight and the war that raged between Nerul and Raven Queen, or at least their followers, normal was shattered long ago.
I see. You would do well to try and inform those you come across out here. News does not travel quickly. The only reason that my people are aware of it is we come out in several places, not just here.
Are you and your people aware of anything that we have not yet discovered about this undead scourge?
Nothing that I can be too certain of. There seems to be a stronger concentration of them to the east. The further you go, the more dangerous it gets.
Isn't that toward the Dwarven City? That's northeast,
I
isn't
got
it?
my east and west confused. Sorry, that's my bad. Thank you for pointing that out. I am so bad. I have a compass in front of my face. I should know this by now.
West.
So, west, to the left on the map.
Got you. I
To the
see.
left, to the left.
Further west even than the Hidden Fortress? Forgotten Fortress? Forgotten Fortress. Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Yes, things do seem to get worse the further you go. Perhaps that's just because it's the furthest from a populated area, but I suppose it also makes an inverse of sense, as they need to be people for there to be undead.
It
So,
reveals the possibility that this Death Knight is not sole source of the problems, just one of several.
it's hard for me to say with certainty, but I wish you luck on your mission. And as I am still here, if there is some way I can aid, do let me know.
Yes, actually, I was hoping that we might be able to trouble you if we're in your graces for the use of Windwalk in the future, if you're around. It is very useful for getting to places we wouldn't otherwise be able to travel quickly.
Yes. I can, I believe I have one casting left for today. So I can see to that. And should you need me, I did give you that ring for a reason.
Yes, we have been keeping it very safe and trying to make sure we do not use it unnecessarily. We very much appreciate the aid, the information, and the power you have given to us as far as our alliance is gone, and we wish to maintain your good favor.
Well, I'm happy to help, and glad that my gifts have been of service, but you need not necessarily protect that ring very heavily. While it does allow me to arrive at the location of the one who uses it, it holds no power over me. So should it fall into the wrong hands, it's not particularly detrimental to myself. Although it could cause me to walk into something I'm not prepared for.
That is the situation we would avoid. If we can find you nearby to here once we have had a chance to rest, then once we know where we wish to go, it would be greatly appreciated to have your aid in that, in the form of the Windwalk again.
Well, I cannot leave until tomorrow, so I will still be here. If you cannot find me here, try the standing stones that mark the entrance to the Realm of Wind. If I'm not here, then I will certainly be there.
Then I would not trouble you further before our rest, except to say thank you for relying on us trying to find a maintainable peace between you and Gnomish Village. Everyone will benefit from that.
As do I. Peace is always more beneficial than war. At least in our case, where material goods don't do us as much good as the rest of you.
Haskell
With that, if you
nod, smile, and bow to dismiss himself.
aiming this question at the rest of the group. If there's anything else you wish to say or ask, now would be the time, as this is my last casting of tongues for the day.
I just echo Eskel's sentiments that we appreciate your assistance and your trust in these matters.
I can't think of anything, so I will thank you too.
Al wouldn't really say much of anything.
No, sorry. I will offer you one thing. This has been... or is it Melsar? Who has the ring? I can't remember if it's Melsar or if it's
It's
Dirk.
me.
It's Melsar, okay. Then, while I have stated that the number of times I will allow you to use that ring before asking for it to return is limited, I will make an exception if you wish to learn Primordial, so that we may speak more freely.
That would be wonderful.
Alright then. If you have time for a lesson now, I can certainly start, or call upon me in the future if you have the time.
She kind of just looks stunned and pleased and says, if there's nothing else needing to be done right now, I'm happy to begin lessons.
Lessening. Okay.
Shut up.
Oh boy.
Begin lessons. Begin learning.
I have no idea where Eskel went. He's
So is
gone.
she a good lessener?
I am the lessener. I take the lessons.
No, that's the lessonee.
Oh, okay. I'm the lessonee. She is the lessener. Oh, did I step on you?
No, I think I hucked him off the table by accident.
Spicy.
Yeah, you hucked him into the void, because I'm holding down tab to try and find him, and he does not exist.
I clicked him, and it took me to the edge of the table, and I can move him back and forth, but I can't see him.
Wait, there's an edge?
There's an edge.
I've never found it. I've started building maps that are half a mile in every direction, and I've never found the edge.
Oh, Eskel found it. Oh well, bye Eskel.
Alright, let's see. Unique creatures... Eskel...
Fine, he died. I'll just make a new character.
Um...
Huh,
Well,
he's
that's-
flying now. Or something.
So I'd like to... Okay, so you can see him on your screen. Can anyone else see Eskel?
I see him standing above his token.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stand.
All I see is the base. I do not see Eskel.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like
Well,
hovering
he's
like
the
5 feet
base
above.
as well.
The base was also like partly in the ground.
Was it?
I think.
It's a feature.
This isn't me now. Oh, I'm done. I died again.
Oh, bye.
I'm going to see if resummoning this thing kills that horrid creature.
Dude,
Hey, now it looks normal for me at least.
I'm back.
Whee!
Weird. My unique.
Oh, hey, I can see Eskel again. Yay.
Huh. So apparently they have edited how they list unique creatures, because now it's alphabetical when it used to be just in the order you made them, because Eskel used to be at the top of the list, now he's near the bottom.
Why?
Wow.
Because we have two A names, a D, and then an H.
Yeah, obviously I should be at the
Okay,
No,
just
No,
Al.
that's
yeah, I
That's,
see how it is.
that's self-evident. No need for explanation. That's just the way it should be.
Oh boy. Alright, is anyone else going to try and join in on the, primordial lesson?
Booyah! I like languages.
Yes. I was going to ask if this was,
An open invitation.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, but should you miss one in the future, I have no intention on going back. So, do pay attention.
I appreciate your honesty, I will say. But I am all set.
Alright, so she'll do that for the remainder of the hour she has with tongues.
Learn in
And
primordial.
when start speaking and you start looking confused, she will have taught you at least enough to say until next time, and for you to understand.
That sounds good.
Right, my sheet is 1 hour lesson.
I may end up coming with my own rules for languages, or I might just steal Tristan's. We'll see.
They seem pretty happy to share them. They're
Yeah.
truncated, but so is everything in D&D.
Where are you adding that to your sheet, by the way, Tristan?
I went to
Just in
notes.
the
Under, like,
notes,
notes.
and other.
Yeah, notes other is where I put everything. Where I have all my notes on my lay on hands. I still had 10 points of lay on hands according to this.
Likely due to both the level up and the extra you get from the amulet.
I have to note it here separately since I can't just alter like the feature, unfortunately, so I just like ignore the feature. Like you get 35, it's like no. I get 48. 48.
I could, if you want, I could mark it on your token in Tailspire.
Wouldn't hurt.
Stats.
That's it. Stat 3. Yeah. Enter. Boom.
Well, that's annoying. Apparently, the stats are universal, but I will do this anyways because no one else sees it.
Wait, stats are universal, so everybody now has stat 3 as something out of 48.
I do.
No. The number is not universal. The name is.
Oh.
Oh, so if we name stat 3 lay on hands, then everyone says that
should
they
be
have lay on hands.
That makes sense. Gotcha. I mean, it quote unquote makes sense. Like, get
It is
right.
unsurprising.
Yeah.
Well-
That's funny. I have 10 points of lay on hands, guy.
Alright, well, now I've got it set up. Alright, so you now can return to Nyx's home and try and get your rest. If that's what you wish to do. Or you may do whatever else comes to mind. If you want to make sure everyone has a bed, I will point out you could consider returning to Mount Mistal with Tristan's amulet. However, that might lose you access to Windwalk.
How long does
I
Windwalk
think
last
Al
anyway?
and Eskel already volunteered to take the floor.
It lasts 8 hours, I believe, because it took you like 3 hours and 40 minutes to get to the fortress, and then the same to get back.
Well, by resting, we're gonna lose the Windwalk anyway.
Yeah, but
Oh, we
Well,
lost.
no, it's because she'll be casting in the
Ira's
morning.
around.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't realize she was still gonna be around later
Yeah.
to cast again on us.
So it's today for her. We're going to bed
Yeah.
now, but when we wake up, it will still be today for her. So she'll still have just one casting of it left, and she'll still be having to wait until tomorrow to go home.
Because this is the same day where she did the fighting and whatnot, and called some reinforcements, which takes her plane shift.
Is this the same? Because this is the morning of the next day, isn't it?
I mean, I suppose it is. I guess it just depends on if she gets it back at dawn or at long rest. Probably long rest, so
Did she not?
it's questionable.
Okay. I hadn't called it into question earlier because I was like, okay, whatever. But now I'm like, well, wait, hold on. That was yesterday.
Either way, she has the resource left,
Yeah.
so I don't think it particularly matters. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on.
Or we don't. All right. Eskel will be tired after a cool lesson of primordial. Time for Eskel bed.
Alright, well, now that I have put some furnishings, at least, on the inside of this house, as I learned upon loading the map a few minutes ago, that the insides were barren.
Yes. This place is
trees
mostly an
out of them.
exterior aesthetic. They have trees inside.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Alright, I have opened the doors to the big house so people can walk their tokens in and whatnot.
A big house. Going to jail?
And I have realized the bed is backwards. One
Fairly.
moment.
Yeah, for that joke.
Worth it. Oh gosh, I knew I was going to regret it. Oh, get rid of the trees. Woo!
And now I'm on the table.
I like that floating bookshelf.
Alright, whatever. I'm in here somewhere. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I will still be here-ish, though.
Alright. Alright, so you're able to pass the majority of the day, without incident, as you are resting in a village, which is at least relatively safe. Let's see here. And it's now late afternoon, early evening. As Dirk wakes up, at least. The rest of you would have been up for a little while.
Elves.
I get my strength back.
I mean, I suppose you technically probably could have gotten it on the flight, because
It's a short rest?
the short rest would have fixed it, and I don't see why you
okay.
couldn't get one, just flying in a straight line.
I do not have a -6 other modifier to my strength. I have a 0 other modifier to my strength.
Does anyone have anything they wish to do here, or are you just looking to move on?
I think we need to have some discussion. Since we
Alright.
were a bit pressed for time, not wanting the windwalk to wear off. We didn't have a full discussion over there. So once everybody's up, I think we could invite everyone around the table and say, let's have a chat, shall we?
Alright, well, while we wait for Kate to return for that, is there anything that the other Edmonds would like to do?
Eat my rations.
Aurelion?
Eat rations.
Any...
That makes sense.
Just get food?
Yeah.
Alright. Al, is that the same for you, or something else?
I would probably be eating and reading.
Okay. Then I suppose we shall wait.
I mean, Mel's doing the same thing.
Welcome back.
I mean, I'm not totally back either.
Okay, well then let me know when you are.
But I'm here enough. I can participate in discussions.
Okay. So then, around the time Dirk wakes up, I believe you guys are looking to have a conversation, likely while he eats breakfast. Is this correct?
Munchy munch.
That sounds accurate to me.
Hardtack and cheese.
Alright, well, Eskel, you seem to have something in mind, so if you wouldn't mind starting us off.
We need to determine what our next move. We know that we have a couple days, but we didn't collect any of the remains.
I thought we did.
Did we?
You did. It was stated that you did.
Oh.
It was
So-
stated at the end of last session.
Can I check on those, or can I have checked on those, since now we've had a,
Yes and yes.
okay.
If it's have checked, then you wouldn't have really noticed any change just like at that point. But
Okay, I
as
didn't know
now
if it
some time has
changed.
passed, there would be a bit missing at this point.
Okay. Any way to calculate it or estimate how much is missing? Like we did last time.
Last time, just to kind of get the mechanic kind of out there, I did it as a bit of a gimme. But I would like to do a roll this time.
Okay. Int. Wisdom.
Like, you're basically just having to judge the weight, because trying to tell the amount is going to be a bit more difficult.
Strength.
Strength? You're an ass?
So it would either... So, I mean, I suppose it could actually be strength. So it would be either strength or perception. Or actually, you know what, let's do it. Strength perception. It is a strength-based perception.
Based
Double.
perception check.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. You're like hefting its weight, testing your muscles. You need to be in tune with your body.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's gonna be a 14.
14. Alright. You're not certain how much is missing, but you do know it has gotten a bit lighter, and if you were able to find some sort of scale, you could probably get a fairly accurate estimate, but you feel like you should have at least 5 days, if not more.
Okay. Well, Eskel feels confident in that as his minimum without a scale, then he'll just put it out there and then say, if I want to get more accurate, I need a scale. But I'm guessing we have about 5 days before we need with Atlas again. I'm thinking that we try when that time comes. So, yes, we want to plan for the interim. But to skip to when he comes back, just to touch on it, my thoughts on that are that we try to get him off of the idea of resurrecting his wife and onto the idea of letting her move on and then joining her.
That seems a reasonable approach to me.
Do we have ways? I don't remember, out of character, how we convinced Eleanor that the Raven Queen was now in charge and there was a possibility of a future for them, or an afterlife for them.
What you had done was to show her that things were different, and that opened up the possibility that we weren't lying or making things up, that if that much time had passed, then there could be another way, but she was taking it on faith.
Gotcha.
That we weren't lying to her.
That particular thing didn't have any, hard evidence,
Mhm.
but since the other things seemed to line up, she went with it.
Okay.
But
My
Atlas
only-
has been here the whole time.
Yeah. That occurred to me after the fact. But my only thinking is he may want some sort of reassurance that it's truly a possibility to him.
So we'll want to be able to have something to show. Some kind of... anything hard. Anything irrefutable that at least something about what we're saying is true. Because just fighting this guy isn't gonna work. We can beat him down and beat him down and beat him down, and he's just gonna keep going back, and he's still gonna be pissed, and he's still gonna have broken his oath trying to bring back his wife. So I'm very... which actually leads me to my next point. And I think that this is a good start for there, and that we should keep this in mind. If any more ideas come to people over the next couple days, we should definitely chat them out. But the next thing I wanted to touch on with this was, I don't know that the information that Eleanor gave us is accurate. Not that she lied, I think that she doesn't know what he swore his oath for. Because if everything in the story she told us was true, then he's done nothing to break his oath. And he should not be a Death Knight. So I think that she has an idea of what she thinks his oath is, and I think his oath must have been something else. Which means we still need to figure out what his actual oath was. Because otherwise we don't know how he broke it, and what he needs to atone for.
Remind me what she said his oath was?
He claimed his oath was an oath of vengeance against the people who had ousted him from his house and his title. And that he swore that he would get back what was taken from him and punish those who were responsible for it being taken from him. He's done nothing but punish people who have transgressed against him. In life and death, as far as I can tell. So none of those things seem like they would have broken his oath. But he made an oath that was broken, otherwise he would not be a Death Knight.
I'm not completely familiar with the way oaths are made and broken and how exactly they need to be broken, but could it have anything to do with how he went about achieving his aims? Like, could he have gone against his god's will directly or something? Would that have anything to do with it?
Look to Dirk for a moment, seeing if he wants to contribute anything before I answer.
Sam had to step away to give Stella her medicine. So if you wish, we could
Then
wait.
seeing he doesn't have anything to contribute at this moment, Askel would continue and say, well, honestly, as paladins, representing a god is a choice. You can swear your oath to a god, but it isn't necessary to become a paladin.
Sam is back.
Ah, cool. Sam. Dirk.
Yes.
Melisari's asking about how paladin oaths work and if he could have fulfilled the goal of the oath in a way that would be abhorrent to the god, and so I was about to dive into some details about oaths and gods, but I wanted to give Dirk a chance to respond if he had anything to say.
I feel like how Eskel is going to describe things is probably fine for Dark. He might chime in afterwards with any other input, but...
Okay. Many paladins aren't actually bound to any particular god. Our specific oaths, Dirk's and mine, don't necessarily bind us to Bahamut strictly. We have sworn oaths that are in line with Bahamut's tenets, because Bahamut is the god that we believe has the right of things, is trying to create a world that we would see created. So we bind ourselves socially to Bahamut, because he is an entity that people know about. And we are fighting for his cause, because we believe in it. But a paladin... a person could become a paladin swearing an oath that is agnostic of any god. And no god would have call to restrict their power. The power of the paladin comes from the power of their oath, the words and the intent, not from any specific deity.
I would like to amend that slightly. As I do have the oath be a tiny bit different in my game than in yours. In yours, it's kind of all about the oath, like, to yourself is where the power comes from, and while it is still the oath that grants you power, in my world, it's more or less enforced by the pantheon as a whole, which is why it can still be agnostic to the deities, and why one single one cannot necessarily restrict a paladin's powers. But that's why their source of magic is divine, as opposed to something more innate to the person. If that makes any sense.
So you see, even if there was a god that he had transgressed against in fulfilling this oath, it wouldn't have caused him to break it. As long as he fulfilled the oath, it's not broken.
And furthermore, that's actually why, maybe it's just a thought occurring to you, but I just kind of want to make it clear, as it's something kind of different from the default. That's why the Divine Intervention didn't work on trying to kill the Death Knight, permanently. Because it's not within her, Avandra's realm of influence.
Well, that is important.
Make that call by herself.
So how would one even break an oath of vengeance? You'd stop chasing your quarry?
Yeah. If you swear to bring low some person or creature, actively do not fulfill it, you give up on that. Your conviction, you lack the conviction to see it through, then that would be a cause for the oath to be broken. I again turn to Dirk, as I am not and say, as I am not a paladin of vengeance. I do believe that to be the case.
I mean, I would think the exact nature of his dereliction of his oath depends on how his oath was worded in the first place. But in general, I would think that if his oath was around a very specific target and he decided to abandon that target, then that would do it. But it could have been more broad than that. I'm not sure.
So it all depends on exactly what he said and how he made his oaths. Great. Well, we can always do the same detect thoughts trick and ask him what his oaths was.
We can do that, but, and I only say but to say that I don't think we know what he wants. I believe we know what he wants right now. And I think that we don't have to use subterfuge to get him to work with us if we believe that we can help him achieve it. And I think we can. He wants to be together with his wife again. She's currently trapped here as a spirit, partly because of how things went down 500 years ago. But we need to figure out how to set her free, get the Raven Queen, take her to where she wishes to be in her afterlife. Her afterlife, sure. And from there, I imagine that he would want to work with us so that he could join her. A bit hopeful, but
We would need to have some way of convincing him that that was indeed happened and what happened. We didn't just send his wife away with no possibility of him seeing her again.
no.
That would only make things worse.
We have yet to accomplish it, so she's still here for the moment.
And go ahead.
No, I'm good.
And I imagine at this point he has enough of an understanding about the nature of ghosts that he would be able to determine what we were doing and how it ended up. If we were trying to trick him by doing some magic at her spirit to make things disappear, then I don't think that would be able to get by him. So
Melisari just sort of smiles sadly and said, "That is what's logical, yes, but logic doesn't always apply in the face of possibly losing one you love." But regardless, we may not even have to worry about that, considering what her reason for being here is him. They're sort of inextricably interlocked. Doing one should sort of solve the other, one would hope.
all guesswork at the end of the day. Not dealt with a thing exactly like this before. I've just become a paladin. This feels right to me. This feels like justice done. We need to understand what he swore and how he broke his oath so that we can set him free of this cursed existence. But moreover, he has done monstrous things. So there is, of course, a part of me that doesn't wish to help him. But I understand, as a follower of Bahamut, that helping him helps everyone else in the world right now. All the people that he could hurt, that he has hurt, and will continue to hurt if we don't stop this. And this is the best way of doing it. More to it, or further to that, I want to help his wife. I want to help Eleanor. She's, as near as I can tell, an innocent victim in this. She was taken as a prisoner to hurt him, or to stop him doing something that he was doing at the time. She was just a tool in all of this, and she lost her life unfairly. And she is trapped here because she doesn't understand what happened. So, if we can help her by helping him, I want to do it. That's what Bahamut would want.
Jumping back a little bit, the way he words his oath vastly affects what it is.
It would.
So he could have worded it in such a way that it wasn't what he intended to do. So he could think that he was following his oath, but actually breaking it. Because he wasn't careful with his own wording.
And I kind of cast a look at Dirk to see if he has any thoughts there.
I would feel that his intent is more important than the actual wording, but knowing what he was saying as he was making it would help us know exactly how it was broken. And so what he had done that allowed him to break it.
I mean, if he... What did she say he swore his oath to do? To punish those who took from him?
Was supposedly members of the clergy of Bahamut that had brought charges against that caused him to lose his title and lands. For his men, that person and that organization. Why I believe he has at least nominally aligned himself with Tiamat.
Could it be simply that he hadn't succeeded in that when Eleanor was taken, and he gave up on those people specifically to go after the ones who had taken Eleanor?
It seems possible. Especially if in going after Eleanor against the wording of his oath, the intent of his oath, and then losing her sent him into a different destructive spiral. But, and it's just conjecture, I would have thought that he'd still have returned to punish those others after seeing to the dwarves. But yeah, that seems like it could be a possibility.
I was just wondering if he had possibly phrased it in such a way that he swore vengeance on whoever was responsible for his position, and ultimately he was the one responsible. Perhaps he was being punished for something he had actually done.
While I believe it is possible to be punished fairly, I have to echo Dirk and say that the intent of the oath is what matters. The wording doesn't not matter, but I don't believe it's possible for a paladin to swear to do something other than what they think they're swearing to do. So even if he was wrongly accusing the person that he swore vengeance against, the oath would hold until he got that vengeance anyway. But again, I am speaking more generally as a paladin, as my oath is of devotion. The idea of vengeance against a single entity is strange to me as an oath. Say you find a way to get your vengeance in a week, do you then stop being a paladin? Need to make a new oath? It confuses me.
My particular oath was more broad, and so I'm not sure what would be going through a paladin's mind when they were specifically seeking a specific entity.
I think that your oath makes quite a lot of sense, actually, and functions as a way of life as opposed to a single objective.
It gives me a purpose to pursue until I die.
But the fact remains that we have been told by Eleanor what she believed his oath was. But I am not fully convinced, it seems to me, that the history as we understand it does not support that his actions caused that oath to be broken. Now, either we know the history wrong or we know his oath wrong, but there's something are missing. Unfortunately, this isn't a problem we can just swing a sword at until it is pulp. It will just come back the next day. Figure this one out. He spent 500 years here in Elysium, and we know that some of his most heinous acts were committed at the Forgotten Fortress. Perhaps there are stories that survive in the local cultures of such an imposing historical figure with such demonstrable longevity.
Wait, what was the last thing you said?
That maybe somebody here has some myths about him that could help us.
Here in the village?
Possibly. He was local to this area for 500 years.
I know it's slowly. It's worth a shot.
Worth asking. We were also told by the Jinn that the concentration of undead grows stronger to the west. I want to believe that it's a separate issue, but it could be tied. Maybe there would be more information about Atlas in those uncharted forests in the west. perhaps we can carry news of our accomplishment to the Dwarven City, and they would be able to give us some idea of how they want to proceed. Maybe they want to send an occupational force to the Forgotten Fortress. I mean, we can let them know that the Death Knight is going to be recovering in the next week, so, you know, maybe we would have some backup when that happens. Or maybe they would give us access to more historical information that we didn't have before as a reward for what we've accomplished so far. I'm just thinking what we can do to improve our current situation. Al, have you any thoughts?
Guess not.
Nope.
No thoughts. Head empty.
Perfectly timed.
Did they, like, drop out of the voice channel?
Yep. Like seconds after you asked if
AFK?
they had anything.
Yeah, they're in
Wow. Cool.
If you wouldn't mind moving them back in here in case they haven't noticed.
I can't scroll the list while I'm holding a person's name.
Ari, are you there?
Sorry.
Nope, they're dead. Okay.
Yeah, I do believe it also, unless they're in streamer mode, makes a channel change noise on their end when they get moved. Like they would have heard the, like, sign out noise.
I've never been here when I get moved to AFK, so I wouldn't know. As that is generally the point of an AFK channel.
I am realizing, so because I'm streaming, my Discord is in streamer mode, so I didn't see this question from an hour ago, Kate. Who were you referring to when you asked what she was already aware of?
Oh, it was the conversation with Ira.
Okay, I thought that might
when
be
we
the
were
case.
talking about the undead and what was going on here.
Did you figure it out, or do you need me to answer that question? I missed it
I
as well.
would appreciate an answer.
She was talking about the change in who the god of death was,
Okay.
and that news doesn't exactly travel out here fast or sometimes at all.
Okay.
Also, for our purposes, we had made Ira aware that we believed the source of the undead, who she knows are responsible by chain of reactions for the gnomes here enslaving other elementals into their killing machines, might have been Atlas. So we had said that if we can take care of this, then there should be less undead, and so then there won't be even a need for these devices anymore. Protect the place, so there would be no chance of them taking more elementals.
Okay, anyway.
Alright. Aurelian, do you have anything else to say on the matters that have just been discussed? No.
You just say that to me?
Yes, I did.
I think there was something else I'll say about that.
Well, I laid out a bunch of things that we could do. So if anybody, like, wants to say why one or more will or will not work, so that we can think about other possibilities, or discuss the possibility of doing any of those things, that'd be cool.
just pulling out my rubbing of that stone that was blasted apart or whatever it is.
Oh. Not sure where that sentence was headed.
I am rubbing one out.
I knew it!
So I want to get the wording of it again. I need to cast comprehend languages, I think, because I'm pretty sure it's in a different language.
No, you would have gotten it like we've already discussed this. Like you would have had plenty of time to have had it translated from Dwarvish to Common.
You also have a dwarf, so.
Oh. Okay, beautiful.
The dwarf.
So I'm just, oh my goodness. I'm just pulling it out and rereading it again.
I thought you were just a free dragonborn.
What?
I mean, you have the belted dwarven kind for long enough, and then
No, they acted Dwarvish lords.
I don't know that we're going to be able to obtain any more history from Mistal. It certainly could still be worth seeing if they want to set up a contingency out there. But if this is what's become of a direct tale of Atlas's transformation, I suspect that any other mention of him is likely to have suffered the same fate. But I do also want to just look at this again in case it's been a little while, if anyone doesn't recall. The wording of this seems to indicate that he became a Death Knight after his death, somehow.
Yes. That is what happens to a paladin who has a broken oath and then dies without repairing it. You don't become a Death Knight when the oath breaks.
Got you. Okay. Well, never mind then. That ends that thought.
Sorry. I could have been more clear earlier. It is dying with a broken oath that makes you a Death Knight.
That's fine. Well, never mind then.
I still think there would be merit in going back to Mount Mistal to report our current level of success and see if the dwarves wish to do anything. We could get Windwalk and then teleport there using the holy symbol that Bahamut gave me, and then use Windwalk to return to this side of the continent.
That's an idea.
I was reading something Dirk sent me. What was that?
I said, I feel like there would be merit in visiting Mount Mistal and letting them know what we've accomplished to see if they wish to move ahead with any of their own plans that we could help with or springboard off of. And to do that, I had suggested going to get Windwalk from Ira and then using the holy symbol to teleport so that we could get there instantly, do that over the course of about an hour probably, and then Windwalk back to this end of the continent, since this is still where we're needed.
My only concern there is it could be difficult to convince Atlas that we are trying to help him and Eleanor if a contingent of dwarves set up shop in the fortress?
It is going to take a good amount of time for the city to decide what they want to do, gather together the resources for whatever they want to do, and then get to the fortress.
But it is reasonable, Dirk, to think that by the time they got there, Atlas may not have returned yet. As it would take them roughly, what was it, 3 days, a week? How long did it take us to walk?
It would take you a week to walk in total.
Oh, okay. So no, never mind. They, like, no matter how it shook out, they'd be arriving after he returned.
But if we're with him for some amount of time trying to convince him of something, and then a large contingent of dwarves marches on the fortress, that does not make a good case for our assistance.
Or it strengthens it.
What strengthens what?
If we have enough control of the situation, if the Dwarven Kingdom is trusting well enough in us that if we say, do not attack, they don't, then that might strengthen our position in these discussions with Atlas. Because I do believe, as it seems you do, that this needs to be a discussion with Atlas. And so even if a contingent of soldiers showed up and we said, do not interrupt this, negotiation, and they stood down, I believe that seeing that we, were able to command that kind of trust and loyalty would be meaningful to Atlas.
You can see that giving weight to us not wanting to continue fighting him, and they're wanting to help him fix this and then move on.
Nodding. See, yeah, that's my thinking here. Like, I don't see it. As long as we can be reasonably assured, and I would want that assurance from the Crown, that if we were to demand that, request that of the soldiers that arrive, and they would listen, then I would be willing to say that would strengthen our position. Or I would be willing to guess that would strengthen our position. If we do not return to Mount Mistal to report on our level of success, what would people want to be doing instead in this time we have before Atlas returns? We still need to determine, if there was a fallacy in what Eleanor told us of his oath, and if so, what the truth was, or if there was a fallacy in history, and determine what that was. Should we talk to Eleanor again, or attempt to? Should we go further west and see if there is some other source of the undead that needs our tending? Our cup runneth over with options of how we might spend the next 5 days. But I want us to be in a position at the end of those 5 days to deal with Atlas in a more permanent way than we have thus far. Nyx.
You have lots of options, apparently. That's all I know. I'm not really here about that. Or, well, I suppose in a way I am. One, I would like my house back soon, if that's possible. Two, our village, as you have seen, doesn't really employ magic in its more, standard methods. We are more capable than most of applying it to items or objects. And, well, it would take some time. I'm curious if there's something in particular we could work on that might help you in your current endeavor.
Eskel looks somewhat surprised as he turns to regard Nyx and says, "We had already imposed so much, I hadn't thought to ask you for anything further."
While you may have imposed somewhat, you've also brought us peace with the elementals and, at the very least, put a serious speed bump on the nearby undead. And for that, we owe you a great deal.
What kind of items do you specialize in enchanting?
We've never been the best at making weapons, things that are wielded by one person to harm another, with the exception of the automatons, the shield guardians, and the golems and things of that nature. But items that are more utilitarian in purpose or design is something we specialize in. Well, I
Things
suppose I
like
should
armor,
clarify.
cloaks,
We were
shields.
We might have been able to do armor. We may still be able to, but the more combat-focused knowledge, died with my predecessor.
I see. Looking slightly embarrassed, I had hoped things wouldn't have to go the way they did.
Indeed, but just because the knowledge is lost for now does not mean it's lost forever. And sometimes a fresh starting point can lead to new ideas.
That seems like an incredibly generous offer. So I guess if I might convey your words to the table, if it seems if you can think of something that might help you in a general way, like an armor or a cloak or something, Nyx might have the power to create it for us. What would you need us to bring you?
That all will entirely depend on what you want. If it's something that we already know how to make, or something that we are at least have a starting point on, it may be made faster and may require little to no work on your part. But the more grand or extravagant you wish, the more time it will take to make, and, well, there may be some going and fetching required. As rare ingredients are surprisingly a bit more common on this continent, one of its few blessings, but they're not always close or easy to get to. But I have had the rare opportunity to view that map the girl you brought with you had on her, and it might be able to assist in finding some of those things, but it would still take time.
Right. Speaking of Amara, is she still in the village, or has she gone to the plane of air?
I believe she's still here, as she would need to leave with Ira, and she is here as well.
Indeed. Spoke with her this morning.
I believe she's actually in one of the workshops near the back of the village.
Ah, good. I'm glad she's doing well. Okay. Well, that gives us a new topic of discussion. If you want your house back, perhaps my friends and I can take a walk and finish our discussion while sightseeing.
Perhaps. There's also a rather cozy camp next door that could also do. But the sooner you could relay any desires towards equipment, the sooner the work can begin and the requests can be made.
Well, know that have my gratitude for making us aware of this, and I am aware that it is viewed as payment, but you still have my gratitude.
Noted.
I will put thought into it, and I will discuss with the others. Hopefully we can have, something to say to you before the sun sets, which I know is soon.
Very well. If I don't hear back from you, I will likely either get to work on it myself or have someone else start work on something related to movement, as you seem to be needing to cover vast distances fairly frequently.
Yes, actually, my thoughts were skewing in the same direction. I'm glad we're of a mind, but I want to definitely give my companion a chance to pose some ideas.
Yeah, actually, you kind of see a thoughtful look on her face, and she starts kind of wandering towards what appears to be some sort of research or workstation over to the right here. Or my right, your
Yes. My up. So, why don't we get some fresh air and move our legs a bit? Maybe the blood flow will help us think about the tasks we have ahead of us.
Sounds good.
Are you going to come too early on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can move that one if you want.
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure that it is what he intended before I started moving his piece for him.
I heard a thing. What was that? Oh.
Has Ari returned?
Nope, that is a Drew.
Hello, Adru.
Alright then.
Hi.
So, I don't want to be doing all the talking here, so I've laid out a few ideas of what we might do, and now you guys can talk about making a magic item just for you.
Or where you should go, what you wish to do.
Was it a one for each of us sort of deal?
I did not ask, but I would imagine that there will at least be one item. So, we should plan for one, hope for more. So
I'll just clarify, as this is somewhat of a mechanical thing as well. I mean, the number is rather open-ended. There could be a couple less powerful items. There could be one rather powerful item. It's just kind of... Frankly, you can request as much as you want, and we'll see whether or not they can do it, or if they'll request payment, or if you'll have to get something first, or how much time it'll take.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends. there's not like a hard cap, but there's definitely a soft cap in
Right.
terms of time and resources.
You're asking somebody to do something they might not be able to do it.
Yes.
Not like this.
What?
Or Switch.
What?
Yeah, it was Switch.
Yep.
In any, it was about Ari.
You know the original. Yeah. You know what the original design, like the original plan for Switch was?
I don't.
Switch was going to be like male outside the Matrix and female inside, or vice versa.
Oh.
Hence the name.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
50. So, I guess since, items are probably easier for the group to think about than larger goals, I'll switch gears to that.
Ha!
Well, I'm not getting any response to the other thing, so I'm gonna switch to this and hope. I was thinking that perhaps we would benefit from something that would either make it so that we could travel faster, a la Windwalk, or something that would let us travel without fatigue, which might be, a lesser costing magic, ultimately. Since it seems that very frequently we are called to distant places in order to accomplish what we wish. So either a mode of transportation, or some boots that are nice and cushioned. They said they don't like creating weapons. They can help it.
I think it was
And
more
also that they lack the skills.
Yeah.
But perhaps somebody wants a cloak that makes it easier for them to hide, or a circlet that improves their intelligence.
Or maybe
Or a
something
bigger
that makes
ball.
them only sleep 4 hours.
Or a ring that makes it so that he doesn't have to sleep as much.
That would be nice.
What was the ion stone that made it so you didn't sleep at all?
Oh man. I don't know what it was called, the Iron Stone of Energy or something like that. No, that one was that you didn't need to eat.
They were all
wasn't
just identified by, like, shape and color.
it? Yeah.
Like, they didn't have any other... So it's like, this is the, like, blue prism.
Yeah. That's the one that makes it so you don't have to eat. We should get an Ion Stone for the
one that
party
makes
that
it
makes it so we don't have to eat.
I want a ring of regeneration.
Well, it is technically more along the lines of what they're capable of. That one might take a while.
I want a portable doorway to the plane of healing.
So portable doorway to like your home temple, because that's the closest you're gonna get.
The plane of healing. The positive energy plane.
I legitimately don't think it's a thing in 5th edition.
They don't talk about it. We don't go to the positive energy plane anymore.
Not after the
Everyone's
incident.
just too happy.
We don't go to Ravenholm anymore.
Alright, so I'm just gonna pick somebody out of the bunch. Dirk, thoughts on where you want to go or what you might want?
So, do you want me to start speaking in character, or are we doing a, like,
I
more
would prefer
summary
in character.
kind of-
I would prefer in character, but I will take anything at this point because we only have a few minutes left.
So I think that while the point about there being more undead farther to the west as a concern is a valid one. It's not something that should distract us from dealing with Atlas. So we should get the Windwalk, go and see what we can see with Mount Mistal, given the information that we have now, and see if we can get them as another bargaining chip in our discussions with Atlas. And if we can't, still they have information, we can get back to begin talking with Atlas and see how we can address this problem, since unfortunately we can't hit it until it stops.
Sometimes you run into problems like that.
How long has it been at this point since we left Mistal? Like 2 days, 3 days?
Mistal, it's been 5 or 6 days. I think this is the
Really?
6th day.
Because we
Yes, 'cause
traveled fast, but not that fast.
Because you traveled like 5 days to get here, and then Windwalk saved you literally 2 days of travel one direction.
I
So
may
it
or
saved
may not have
one
forgotten
total.
that we were separated from Eskel for like 3 days just on its own.
It's true.
That was several days.
I was back at
how
Mount
we acquired,
Mistal more
the
recently than you.
tiefling.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot you went back there.
And then I
Yeah,
saved a person who was not a damsel in distress.
Mm-hmm.
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 Anyway.
Technicality.
The technicality was
Well,
that she
the
wasn't saved
inconvenience.
until we were all here, not that she wasn't a damsel in distress.
Oh yeah.
But
Anyway. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what I was trying to say, it occurs to me that it would be worth checking in at Mistal regardless. They might have made progress on figuring out what the hell happened to that accounting and might have more information there.
Nice. Cool. Well, I'm in favor of this. Who else has thoughts? I know.
What are you knowing?
Good buddy Aurelion has thoughts.
Oh, so many thoughts.
Ah,
And they're
why?
gone.
Who did that?
It wasn't me.
I don't believe you!
What's wrong?
I just made pretty light, so
With my head. But
Oh, yeah, no, it's because
what's wrong is we were hoping that perhaps you had some contribution to this discussion about what our next move was, which we now have a couple people saying going to Mount Mistal to talk to the dwarves seems like a good idea.
Yeah, did I not say that when we were still inside at the table?
I don't
Or did
remember.
I
It
mean to
muted.
say that?
But the fact of the matter is, now we are outside the doors, and now we are going to be more, what's the word?
Focused?
Sure, that. So, regardless of what
We're
was
not
said
really more
before, you
focused.
are in favor, yes? Is what you're saying? That's what
I am
you're
in
saying?
favor of returning to Mount Mistal.
Alright.
there is also the question of the map.
Yeah, Amara has it.
Specifically what we are going to do with said map.
I mean... Are you planning on taking it from Amara?
out of character, does Emera really need it in the plane of air? I mean, like...
I mean,
my understanding was that once she was here safely, it was intended to be returned to the Mage's Tower.
yes.
At least the lawful good of us wanted to return it to the tower, while the more neutral parties may have been interested in using it for their own means.
I will point out
That could be.
that while, like, just as trying to remind you what characters should reasonably still remember, is that she was all for having it be returned, but she just didn't want to give it to you until you came back, in case you died.
Right?
Right. But now we're back. Unfortunately, we have to leave again. So, does it count? Is this back or is this not?
I mean, you're
It's back in the sense of we're not immediately diving back into danger.
technically.
Immediately. I said immediately.
Yeah, that sounds correct to me.
We are eventually diving back into danger.
As we know, being technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Indeed.
Alright, so I guess pop in, say hello to Amara, go to Mount Mistal, or just go straight to Mount Mistal? I mean, go straight to Mount Mistal after getting Windwalk from Ira.
One other thing I will point out upon looking at the map, it looks like that the Mage's Tower would actually be about the same distance from here as the Forgotten Fortress, so you could make it by using half of Windwalk.
Oh, you're saying Windwalk to there and then port from there to Mount
It
Mistal.
is possible.
But then some people would have to say goodbye to the Marauders map forever.
I have thoughts on that.
I figure you do.
It's a cool map!
I'm never going to stop calling it the Marauders map.
We are never going to stop calling it the Marauders map. That is functionally what it is.
I'm not actually sure what that's referring to, but
It's Harry Potter.
is that the name of the one? Yeah, I can. Okay.
Yeah, the map of all of Hogwarts.
Yeah, I didn't know it by name, but now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty close to what it is. Just doesn't really mark people.
Yeah, it's not a people thing. It's just, oh my gosh, there's trees just straight up in this hut. Sorry.
Yeah, that's how they got the
I mean, I knew that already, but it's just, it's funny going from the large one where the trees just kind of hang down from the roof, and to the one where the trees are just, the hut's small
like,
enough
hey,
that the trees are just sticking out of the ground.
Hey, buddy. This is my hut.
I want to stress one more time, this map is fucking cool. I am not saying anything against its creator.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny. Anyway.
So, the steps we know are go to Ira, get Windwalk, go to Mount Mistal. The steps we don't yet know are stop, see Amara, get Marauder's map, Windwalk to Mage's Tower.
Should this be a think about it over the weekend and come back fresh sort of thing?
I think it has to be.
Yeah, it's seeming like it because we're not getting close to an answer, and it is our usual end time.
Yep.
Not to mention one player has dropped off the face of the earth, so I need to find out what happened.
Good times.
Well, I hope you guys have had fun.
It was definitely good to get all this discussed. Hopefully, gave some people some stoof to think about.
Someone remind me to think about this over the next few days.
Oh, goodness.
I will try, but based on my track record of the last 2 weeks of basically doing no prep work, I will give you no promises.
Goodness.
I feel
Think
ya.
about this over the next few days.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Thomas, I need you also to think about this over the next few days.
You guys are all very helpful.
We help each other. Alright, then. Thank you, everybody, for having a good session with me.
Yeah.
Guys,
You're
do you
welcome.
come up with an idea for a magic item? If it is a weapon or something else, let me know and we can discuss it, work on it.
Yeah, I'll try to start a thread on it in the Unbound Shores channel.
That would probably be a good idea.
Alright.
Alright.
I'm gonna end the stream. Bye, everybody.
Green.
Oh boy.